Welcome to Spiced Up Civics, your Minneapolis-based youth-led spin on a certain better-known YouTube series. Whether you're here for the poultry or the politics, we're glad you're watching. Today we are joined by Anndrea Young, who is running for Minneapolis City Council in Ward 5. She'll be answering some spiced up questions while eating her spiced up food of choice, which in this case is wings from the Kitchen by Baked brand here at Midtown Global Markets. As always, we have a lineup of 5 hot sauces made right here in Minnesota. We've got Tequila Sunrise, Crybaby Craig's, Burn Your Face from Lovejoy's, Red Eye Hot Sauce, and from our neighbors in Wisconsin, we have Hellfire Doomed. So, what do you say we get into that? But before we do, I'd like to ask if you would mind introducing yourself and just explaining why you chose to run for office.
Yeah. So again, I'm Anndrea Young, born and raised in North Minneapolis, 5th Ward. What made me decide to run for council? I currently serve as executive director for the Heritage Park Neighborhood Association. Started off as a community organizer for them. So I think just my current relevance in the community and community issues is what made me decide to go ahead and take a leap of faith.
Perfect. Yeah, well, thank you so much for running. And let's get into that first hot sauce.
Okay.
So our first sauce will be Tequila Sunrise, coming up hot. This one is from Black Roots.
Okay.
So
just grab a piece of chicken or?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I like drummies.
So I'll put a little bit on mine, and then if you want to do the amount on yours that you choose. And then we'll get into our first question. All right. So, want to cheers?
Oh, we cheers
Let's
it first?
Cheers.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we're writing the cheese.
I just go right in. So, your website says you've spent time educating around renters' rights and financial literacy for youth.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me a little bit more about this and why you care about these issues?
Yeah, so I worked for Cookie Cart for a little bit, which is a youth kind of like development program. We spent a lot where I was a youth development coordinator there. So I spent a lot of time in the classroom with them. Actually, I'm teaching them about financial literacy when it comes to credit, when it comes to college, when it comes to loans, bank accounts. That was like my responsibility there. And then renters' rights or it's important, you know? So again, as being the organizer for the Heritage Park Neighborhood Association, that's one of the things that we advocate for over in the neighborhood. The renters over there could use a lot of support, need a lot of support. We reach out a lot to, or we haven't lately, but we reach out a lot to the current council members, team, and try to see where we can get support from them, the mayor, just to like advocate for the residents that are currently facing a lot of issues. Both are important. I mean, you know, renters' rights are human rights. They deserve to be treated right. They deserve to, they pay to stay. So at the end of the day, they deserve to be treated with dignity. And then when it comes to financial literacy, I mean, if we train a child up the way that they should go, then, you know, when they become adults, they will make the right decisions. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that hot sauce?
That wasn't hot.
Yeah.
I like hot.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah. I was thinking though that the wings are actually like, you can tell they're fresh.
Yes, they are.
They're quite hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
Not spicy hot,
no,
but hot. So with that, I'd like to just go right into the next sauce, if you're willing.
Maybe I'll put it on the same piece of chicken.
So, next we've got Crybaby Craig's Garlic Habanero.
Okay, nice. Ooh. Now that one's not hot. That's a lot of sauce. Let me not laugh too much. Okay, I feel like, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, what is one of the most pressing issues that you think is facing Minneapolis today, and why?
Definitely. Okay, so the Blue Line extension is definitely a big topic, at least for the 5th Ward specifically. I feel like there's a little bit of a divide with the community and what they want, or, you know, just not making sure they're not displaced. So displacement is another big issue, which still boils down to like rights when it comes to like their living conditions and making sure they're able to stay where they've, planted those roots. So I would say that those are two of the big issues of Fifth Ward specifically. Minneapolis, I'm going to say, the encampments and maybe a little bit of the substance abuse. But yeah, I'm sorry. Was there a second part to that?
That was it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So how do you feel about that Crybaby Craig sauce?
I mean, it was a little hotter, but
Yeah.
I like hot now. I don't know.
Yes.
I'll put the stop back on it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, we're just moving quick through these. Our next sauce we've got is Lovejoy's Burn Your Face. Yes.
I'll be the judge.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. This one, I go back and forth.
Okay.
Sometimes it stays true to its word, and others it really doesn't.
Okay.
All right. So, here we go.
Okay. Not burn your face, but
But it's got a little
I
kick.
like it. Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think has best prepared you to be on the city council?
I think my experience with like organizing and working with coalitions. I was just telling Chelsea that I really love coalition spaces because it gives you the opportunity to work with a lot of different organizations on topics that you all find big interest in. So I mean, it'd be the same thing like working on council, right? You're working with a bunch of different people. So I think that that's prepared me. And then just my work as a community, well, I started off as a community organizer. So like my work in community, being city council, you should definitely spend a lot of time in community.
Right.
You should definitely be invested in the community. So I think that between those two things, that's what kind of prepared me.
Yeah.
I know you're sweating over there a little bit. Was that hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely builds
I
for
see
me.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, on a lighter note, what do you think is sort of your favorite go-to spot in Minneapolis? It can be a restaurant, it can be just a place to chill.
Okay.
What is it?
So I like the North Loop area. You can always catch a vibe, depends on what you want to do. Food, I have a couple. So I like on the Northeast. I like, I think it's called Momo Sushi. Mm-hmm. I like Taco Taxi, especially like after a concert or something. It stays open late if you're looking for somewhere late to go. And I like the Lotus. I like going there. Yeah, those would be like my restaurants. I have 2 daughters, so I do enjoy like going to the different parks as well. And spending time with, spending time at the park. Sumner Field is pretty cool just to like walk around. The pools, we take them to Harrison a lot to swim. So yeah, I mean, I like being indulged in my community for sure.
Nice. And how are we feeling about that hot sauce?
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think it takes a pretty big jump between Lovejoy's and then when we get to Red Eye, ultimately Hellfire Doomed. Mm-hmm. They're not lying with the name.
Okay.
So we'll just keep on moving. We've got Red Eye hot sauce.
Okay.
Made in Minnetonka.
Ooh.
So not Minneapolis, but pretty close.
Were the other ones made in Minneapolis?
The other ones I'm pretty sure are.
Okay,
cool.
cool.
I'm pretty sure Black Roots is.
Okay, cool.
And Crybaby Craig's is as well.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna, I think, use the same way I used before.
Oh, I like fuzzies too. That's a good spot too. Sorry, just came to my head. But
You're all good.
yeah.
I'm not gonna make the same mistake as I made with Crybaby Craig's where I doused it. But it's still a liberal amount. All right.
Hey.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they all have a different kind of hot.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
Like they're hot, but
Well, because some of those early ones, like, they're kind of hot, but they mostly just have a good flavor to them.
mm-hmm.
These ones kind of lose the flavor and
They
just
get
really
hot.
lean into the hot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's a new hot question.
Mhm.
Who is your biggest role model and why?
I like Barack Obama. One, he was the first, Black president, whatever. But also too, I think he's like a very humble and down to earth type of person. Like you just don't know. Like he seems like he indulges in so much culture. Very respectable person. Um, family oriented. Um, liked like everywhere. I don't know if he has an enemy. I'm sure maybe he does, but we don't know. So yeah, I think that he's a great inspiration or someone to like look up to and inspire to be like.
Nice.
Yeah,
Then how are we feeling about red eye? I'm feeling it.
I feel it.
Yeah, and it kind of lingers on my tongue too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to go to Nashville.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'd survive.
You'll make it.
We'll see.
They give you pickles, so I think
Right.
that helps.
Maybe we'll add that later
Yeah,
on.
maybe. You
Yeah.
take a bite of the pickle too.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got one more left.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I always ask that question, and
Does
it's just
milk-
projecting because I'm not ready.
Do you want the milk?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Wanted to check.
I've done this one before.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
So we're gonna see.
Okay.
It's real hit or miss. One
Okay.
time I freaked out, the other time I was chill.
Okay.
So
That's a decent amount.
still a decent amount,
Yeah, that's
by
a
the
decent
way.
amount. I'll give you that.
All right,
Okay,
ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see.
Okay. That was that. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm all good for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was.
yeah.
Mhm.
And my favorite thing is I'm always like, you know what? I'm gonna get ready to ask the question, and then I'm like, I'm not ready to
You
ask
need
a
a second.
question.
Yeah. That's a different kind of
That
hot.
makes it worse.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
how are we feeling?
I'm okay.
Okay. So, one last thing I want to ask is, and you can take your time with the answer because I'm taking time with the question.
My eyes are watering.
What is one thing
Mm.
you want our audience to know about you and or your campaign?
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
Doomed for real.
Yeah.
Um.
And it doesn't get better.
Right. Okay. Okay. The one thing about me, I really care about the community that I'm from, and I just hope that the leader that is selected, makes or I hope that the constituents make the right choice picking the correct leader for our ward because we deserve a leader that's actually going to make a difference. My campaign, if you want to be involved or if you want to, if you want to be involved, you can email me at Anndrea Young 4 as in the number ward as in the number 5 or 5 as in the number at gmail.com. Or you can go onto my website, same thing, just.com without the Gmail. You can volunteer. If you're a delegate, you can show up at the convention for me. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for going through these sauces with me, especially Hellfire Doomed.
That's the one.
We're doomed.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you all for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Yes.